What's going on, everyone? So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be working on the wife's Jeep, and we're actually going to be painting these mirrors. As you can see, I've already taken these off, but basically we have the ugly chrome caps. And I tried finding a video on YouTube on how to take these off, but I didn't actually find one, so I thought, you know, why not? Let's go ahead and share this with everybody and see how to take these off. But basically what you do is you pry off, you push down on the mirror. I actually just folded it out like that. Bend this down and then just pry it off. And I'll show you what's in the back of this. So in the back, there's a couple connections, one's there, and then there's two little prongs that are in there for the heated mirror. But other than that, they just snap right off. And then once you take this off, there's actually there's actually 5 different spots that they are hinged to. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so there's 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. The one that's really hard to get to is the one back there. You guys can see that. Kind of hard to see here, but let me go ahead and shine that there. But that's where it is, back in that corner. So you gotta move those wires around. And then there's also one down here in the bottom, pointing the light right where it's at, where you can see that light coming through. That's where the other one is. And then there's this one here on the side, and then the 2 on the top. But the one that, they're all the same except for this one here. You can see this one's kind of slanted, or I mean upside down compared to the other ones. See, this one's facing that way, and that one's facing that way. So, and all the other ones are the same. Just that guy right there. Make sure to push up, push down instead of up like on these guys. So that's the only difference. But other than that, once you get those loose, it just pops right out, and then you're left with a black mirror like that. And then, you know, basically what I'm gonna do with these guys is I'm going to sand them down, probably with Scotch-Brite or like some 600 grit sandpaper, prime them, and then paint them, and then put clear coat over them. So let's go ahead and get this started and see how they turn out. So here's what I'm going to be using. So I've got the Mopar white paint that's going to match the Jeep there, and it's just basic white paint really. It's this is PW7 is the color code for the Jeep. It doesn't have like any crystal metallic or anything like that. That's what I meant by just basic white paint. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and prime it with some Duplicolor Perfect Match primer. This is the scratch filler primer. When I ordered it online, it didn't say anything about just being scratch filler primer, but I'm sure that's gonna work just fine. And then we're gonna clear coat it with some Perfect Match protective clear coat finish. So we'll go ahead and get it primed. All right, so we've got the first one sanded down. You can see the difference before, after. So what I did was I started off with the Scotch-Brite, that seemed to do a pretty good job. And then I tried the 800, but this seems like it's almost too fine. So I ended up switching to the 600. So I'm just using the Scotch-Brite and the 600 grit to get this sanded down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one next, and then we should be able to prime it. All right, guys, so there we go. We've got them sanded down, ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and clean them with some alcohol, and then we'll go ahead and get them primed. I got them sitting on a couple of keg cups there, just so that they're off the ground and they can get, you know, painted evenly without touching the bottom of it. So let's go ahead and get those primed, cleaned and primed. All right, we're gonna do one more coat of primer, and then we're gonna go ahead and wait an hour, and then we can go ahead and get started with the paint. Well, before we actually do the paint, I'm gonna sand it down with 600 grit or maybe 800 grit sandpaper, and then we can go ahead and paint it. So let's prime it again. All right, so we've got these things primered. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand them with some 800 grit sandpaper, and then we'll go ahead and get those painted. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get these painted now. Guys, I gotta say, the stuff that I bought from the dealership, PW7, this is not the exact same white as that. This is like a grayish white, and this is after like, I don't know, the whole bottle pretty much. So what I did was I went ahead and bought the Duplicolor Perfect Match. You can see how much of a difference that is compared to that. and I'm pretty sure there's enough coats on there. So this is the universal white, and I picked it up on AutoZone. I said this was the exact same match to the Jeep, so let's see if that's actually true. Yep, looks about the same. So then we're gonna go ahead and put a couple coats of this, and then hopefully it looks a lot better than that other crap. All right, guys, so after a few trips to the store and not being able to get the right color, this thing was actually just a freaking pain in the ass. So I bought this Duplicolor Perfect Match Universal White, BUN300 Universal White. So this is not actually white. It's more of like an off-white, like eggshell color. So be aware if you buy this. I actually bought this at Advanced AutoZone. I went back to them. I even brought the mirror cover to them, and I showed them, hey, look, this is not the right color that's on the cap, and you know, the white, you know, it's the white that is supposed to be. So basically they told me they couldn't refund it, and I had to contact Duplicolor, which I have, and they're gonna go ahead and refund me my money for that. So what I ended up finding, just be aware of this. If you're going to paint your Jeep that's white, this will not be the right color. So what I ended up getting was I actually bought this stuff at Walmart, Rust-Oleum Automotive Touch-Up Paint. So this is actually universal bright white, so it has already the paint and primer. And I'll show you guys how this actually came out. This stuff is actually way more close or of a match to the Jeep than this color from Duplicolor. So let me just show you guys how that came out. So here's the mirror. If you look at the mirror, you look at the door, very identical. So there's not much of a difference. When you're far away, you actually can't even tell at all. So I'm actually pretty happy the way they came out. The wife wants me to do the door handles as well, and we're thinking about doing this trim that goes around the Jeep as well. So I don't know, that might be for a project a little later down the road, or maybe in the summer or something. But anyhow, yeah, that's all it is, guys. And one thing that I am gonna tell you guys that I actually did was, after I scuffed the cover, it actually worked best without putting any primer on first. So what I just did was I put a coat of this, waited 10-15 minutes, and then I actually was using a heat gun actually to go ahead and try to, you know, dry it up faster. And then I put another coat, and then wait another 15 minutes and use the heat gun actually right before. And I think I put probably like 4, maybe 5 coats of it, and it came out really good actually. So I didn't have to put any primer beforehand. I just used this right on top of it, and it came out pretty good. So just make sure to scuff it down, you know, with either the whatever you call those green pads, the Scotch-Brites, or with like 600 grit sandpaper, and then clean it with alcohol, and then just go ahead and paint it. So this stuff works great. That does not. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this will help some of you guys out there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.